So, this is Micah Arnholt. Today is October 6th, 2018. We are interviewing Terri Armstrong. This interview is taking place at Building 301C in the Warren Williams neighborhood in Columbus, Georgia. This interview is sponsored by the Columbus Museum as part of the Making Conversation Warren Williams Oral History Project. Please state and spell your full name to include family name and your date of birth.
My name is Terri Armstrong. That's Terri, capital S-E, capital L-A-I-S-A, Armstrong, A-R-M-S-T-R-O-N-G, and I was born November 13th, 1979.
Oh boy, that was a good test run. Okay.
This is Micah Arnholt. Today is October 6th, 2018. We are interviewing Terri Armstrong. This interview is taking place at Building 301C in the Warren Williams neighborhood in Columbus, Georgia. This interview is sponsored by the Columbus Museum as part of the Making Conversation Warren Williams Oral History Project. Please state and spell your full name to include family name, and your date of birth.
My name is Terri Armstrong, Terri Armstrong, Terri, capital S-E, capital L-A-I-S-A, A-R-M-S-T-R-O-N-G. And my birthday is November 13th, 1979.
Alright, so to get started, Terri, would you mind telling us a little bit about your childhood and where you grew up?
Well, I'm a little bit of a military brat. I have two sisters, one older, one younger, an older brother. My dad retired from the military in 1996, so we ended up moving to New Orleans, where I spent the majority of my life. Since I was born here in Columbus, I've always wanted to live here, but by my dad being in the military, we never had a chance to actually just stay here. So after I got grown, I moved home. I've been here at Warren Williams for about 8 years. I have 6 children, 5 which are with me. My ex-husband has 1 with him. I'm a Katrina survivor. I just graduated from college last month. Warren Williams helped me accomplish that by me being able to stay here without paying any rent. That's pretty much my background.
Okay. So what is your involvement with the community? Like with local businesses or anything?
Well, right now I'm just a consumer. I'm looking for employment right now, so the only involvement I really have right now is with the children. The community, they like Miss Armstrong. So
okay. So what do you do for recreation in Warren Williams?
I like to cook. I like to cook and eat, get family members together and stuff, listen to music and everything, but I like to cook.
Okay. So just cook for the family, for friends, and just...
Yes, I like to see the looks on people's faces when they're satisfied with what I've created.
Okay. So now this is more of a personal question, and you don't really have to answer this if you don't want to. But so have you experienced any racism or segregation in your life, or any issues from that?
When I was a child, it wasn't a really big deal. A little guy let me borrow his comic book, and when we got back from lunch, the cover was missing from it, so he called me the N-word because he thought I tore up his comic book. But racism, not a lot in my life. My dad was a soldier, so he pretty much protected us from stuff like that.
Okay. So, you're moving on to some more of, I think you already answered one of our questions, but do you still have a strong connection? You know, Warren Williams started out as military housing. So do you still have a strong connection with Fort Benning and with the military?
Not really. My oldest daughter, she tried to join the military, she tried to join the Army. She was injured. She has back problems now. Both her hips are fractured, her knees are messed up, and her ankles. She's only 19, but they put her on disability. But as far as myself and Fort Benning, no.
Okay. So you mentioned, traveling around a lot with the military, but being born in Columbus, you always wanted to kind of return here and start a life of your own here.
Yes.
What brought you specifically to Warren Williams?
Don't take this the wrong way. I always say Columbus is the place people come to die because When I first moved here 8 years ago, it was calm and country and quiet. And, so I figured people come here to retire so they can be comfortable before they're about to pass on. So I wanted to come home
Okay. Just wanted a nice place of peace and quiet
to
where you could
raise
just.
my babies. Yes.
Nice. Okay. So, how have your children done in this community? Has this been a very nice place for them?
So far, so good. My 19-year-old, I'm very proud of her. All the rest of them are still minors, under 13. Yes, I feel it's helped me raise good babies. They're kind, they're caring, and they share.
Okay. So, would you say you have a lot of strong relationships with the members of Warren Williams and with your neighbors?
Oh yes, yes. We try to be a little family. Like in the little areas that we're in, there's like 2 or 3 buildings that are in our area. Somebody needs sugar, somebody's got sugar, somebody needs a pack of meat, somebody's got a pack of meat. We try and stick together like a family.
So, how would you describe this neighborhood to other people who've never been here?
Out of all of the housing developments in all of the states that I've lived in, Georgia has the best housing developments that I've ever seen, that I've ever lived in.
Okay.
So I would recommend them to anybody.
Okay. Now, if there was a specific word or words that you would use when you think of Warren Williams, what would those be?
Home sweet home.
Home sweet home. So I think you've kind of already touched on a few of these, but what would you like to brag about in your community? Any proud moments? Any individuals who have done nice, good things? Or?
Well, pretty much how we get along. I had a friend visiting from Atlanta, and he has a special needs daughter, and you know how children are with special needs kids. But there were a couple little girls across the street that came over and asked if she could come play, because she's 14, but you can't tell because, like I said, she's special needs. They came over and they asked if she could play, and they took her outside and they played with her so sweetly. So I made them a little gift bag, and I gave it to their mom. I was like, you just have the sweetest daughter in the world. I just wanted to tell you I appreciate how sweet your daughter is. So there's like good kids over here. It's a lot to be proud of.
Okay. So, now are there any concerns you have about the community at all?
Sometimes at night, you hear little stuff outside. Sometimes gun violence, sometimes fights. But it's nighttime, so we tend to stay in the house. But that's like my only real concern.
Oh,
Sorry about that.
oh, that's no problem. So, all right then. So, this question kind of goes more towards the economic side of things, but what do you think there are any, or what kind of barriers keep people in these communities? Or
I don't know if it's so much barriers as it is comfort.
comfort?
Yeah.
Just
You
way
tend
of
to
life?
get used, of being around the people you're around and the condition that you're living in and everything. It gets a little comfortable.
Okay. So, now do you have any other, before I move on to more broad questions, do you have anything else you would like to share about Warren Williams that I maybe didn't ask about or didn't touch on? Or?
Well, I like the way they do the gift baskets every month for food. They'll do food baskets and pass them out. You just have to make sure you sign up at the rent office. And I like the little programs or little events that they have for kids where they cook out and have music and bouncy houses and stuff like that. We really appreciate stuff like that.
So does Warren Williams host a lot of events?
They're doing one right now.
Really?
Yes, sir.
So, how often do they do events?
At least once a month. At least once a month. They're
Okay.
doing something up here for the kids.
And they're all geared towards the children and just getting them outside and getting them active?
Yes. Keeping them out of trouble.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
Yes.
So moving on to some more broader questions about Columbus as a whole. What is your relationship with or perception of the Columbus Museum?
It's nice. I appreciate that it's free. It's in walking distance. It's good. It's a nice place to take the kids. for something to do on the weekend. It's nice. I like it.
Okay. And how has Warren Williams interacted with the surrounding neighborhoods and communities?
I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure.
Okay.
I'm a homebody. I pretty much hang right here.
Hang out with your close group of friends and family and whatnot. All right. So, many people consider Winton and Macon Road to sort of be a dividing line in Columbus. Do you agree with that, or do you have any thoughts?
Not really. I never thought of it like that. I
Okay.
realize it switches up on the road, but I never really thought of it as a dividing point.
Okay. So, how have, there's been a lot of changes in Columbus, the last decade or so, changes downtown and the way things work and whatnot. How has that affected Warren Williams, or has it affected Warren
I
Williams?
don't think it's affected us too much.
Okay. Just sort of same old, same old.
Same.
All right. So, do you have any relationship with the river or any of the businesses or communities down there?
No, sir.
All right. I think one of our questions here, is what has kept you in Columbus, and I think you answered that pretty satisfactorily earlier. But what kind of are your hopes for Warren Williams and for this community here?
Well, I know they're supposed to be changing over to, I want to call it RAM, or I think it's RAM. They're switching over. So they're supposed to be getting a lot of new developmental things done. Hopefully a second bathroom. So you don't have to go all the way upstairs to use it. But I'm looking forward to the renovations. Like I said, I'm looking for employment. So hopefully I can get back in after they've done the renovations and everything. But I look forward to what it's going to be like in the future.
Yeah. Do you have any specific ideas for what you'd like to see or how things would work? Or
just better. Because like my apartment, I don't know if it's because I've been there so long or what, but I still have an old air conditioner unit that breaks down sometimes, and like everybody else in the building, they all have new air conditioner units. So I would like to see things evened out a little bit more.
All right. So, do you have any other thoughts or opinions at all you'd like to share, or any other ideas?
I love Warren Williams, and I'm glad to be a part of the community.
Okay. Well, I got some more questions here. So, before you moved away for the military, how long did you live in Columbus?
I couldn't have been 18 months when my parents moved.
Okay.
And then I came back at 19.
All right. And you said you've been living here for the past 8 years?
Yes, sir.
All right. So what kind of well, first off, so what unit number do you live in?
107G.
107G? Okay. And what kind of food do you like to cook?
Oh my goodness, I like soul food. I like lasagna. I make the best macaroni and cheese. I use 7 different cheeses. Ribs, smothered pork chops, cabbages, Brussels sprouts. I like it all. Okra, broccoli. Oh my goodness, I love food. Well, you can tell I love food. I cook all kinds of things.
Okay. So I've got 2 more personal questions, and again, you can feel free to answer or however you see fit. But would you mind talking about your experiences as a Katrina survivor?
It was difficult. When we evacuated, we usually, for storms before, we evacuated and nothing ever happened. We'd get back and nothing's wrong with the house. We've even come home after one hurricane and the front door was wide open and there was still no rain damage and nothing missing from the house. So when Katrina was about to hit, I wasn't going to leave. I was living on my own, and I was pregnant. My dad was like, if you don't get in the car, I'm gonna whoop your butt. He was like, I don't care how grown you are, we evacuating. So we left with 4 outfits, and it took us about 12 hours to get to Indianola, Mississippi, where his family was. And by the time we made it to Indianola, we cut the TV on, and New Orleans was gone. It was completely underwater.
Yeah.
So we just pretty much built our way back up from there. When I came to Columbus at that point, FEMA wouldn't give me any assistance because my dad's name's Terri Armstrong and my name's Terri Armstrong. So they tried to say that we were the same people. Social security number is different, sex is different, his kids are grown, I got babies, but they wouldn't help me. So when I came to Columbus, there was a GEMA program, and they gave me an apartment for 18 months, paid my utilities, bought me furniture, towels. Columbus, Georgia really looked out for me when I first came here from Katrina.
Okay.
It was a horrible experience, but Columbus made me feel at home.
Okay, so was that another experience then that kind of solidified
Me coming back here, yes sir.
Yeah, just that idea of community and like familial love for others and outsiders even.
Yeah.
So, alright. So you mentioned something earlier about finishing up school and your education.
Yes, I just graduated on August the 3rd from Millermont Technical College. I have an associate's in business administration. I started working on my bachelor's, but they said I ran out of funds. So again, I'm looking for employment so I can get my funds up so I can go back to school so I can get a better job.
First off, congratulations on all that work and hope for the best. What do you look forward to doing with that education?
I want to open my own cooking business. Yes, I want to cater, and maybe even a photography studio, because I did dabble in photography a little bit when I was younger. I worked for Sears, Olin Mills. What else did I work for? Sears, Olin Mills. I want to say JCPenney's. It was 3 different photo places. But I'm pretty good at photography as well, so maybe a little photography studio, a little catering business.
Okay. So, be a good small-time business owner.
Yes.
Get something nice going.
Yes.
Well, alrighty. I think if you don't have any other questions or anything you'd like to share.
No, sir.
Well, I think we're about ready to wrap this up then.
It was lovely to speak with you.
It was lovely speaking with you. Thank you very much, Terri.
Have a great day.